Hello, this is Justin, and today we will be covering the ongoing crisis in Venezuela. To understand the context of the current situation in Venezuela, we need to first understand who Nicolas Maduro is and how he rose to power. After the previous president, Hugo Chavez, died, Nicolas Maduro was appointed the next president of Venezuela in 2013. However, his economic and political policies created an incredibly unstable society that saw a 1.3 million% increase in inflation by November 2018. At the end of last year, prices were doubling every 19 days on average. That means that basic supplies like toiletries, which costed about $5 in 2013, would be $65,000 in 2018. Not only have prices gone up, but the economy as a whole was failing. Since Maduro was elected, GDP has been decreasing at an accelerating rate, 5% in 2013 and now 20% decrease in 2018. The economy collapse has created a food shortage, leaving thousands of people starving. But moreover, this has led to massive health concerns. Nutrition is almost non-existent, disease is on the rise, and medicine is scarce. As a result, many Venezuelans are fleeing the country in favor for a better life somewhere else. So what is happening now? Well, first, Juan Guaido, leader of the opposition party in Venezuela, has announced himself as a leading interim president of Venezuela last Wednesday. With support from many Venezuelans, Guaido has challenged Maduro's regime and asking for international support. By declaring himself as the interim president, Guaido wants to take over power and eventually hold free and fair elections. But secondly, international support has been split. The US and many South American countries support Guaido and do not recognize Maduro's regime. On the other side, Russia, China, and many Middle Eastern countries support Maduro and deny Guaido's call for action. In response, Maduro has asked the U.S. diplomats to leave the country in 72 hours. But in a surprise move, the U.S. has declined and ordered their diplomats to stay, because they do not recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader. And finally, currently the biggest player that might swing the crisis is the Venezuelan military. As of now, the military supports Maduro. However, just recently a top military executive has defected to Guaido's side. This could suggest an internal fracture within the Venezuelan military as well. Why is this important? Well, with neither side budging nor diplomatic talks working, this could very well turn into a civil war. But what's worse is that this might turn into a proxy war between the US and Russia. A proxy war is a war instigated by a major power, but it is not itself involved. So for example, the Vietnam War was a proxy war because Russia supported North Vietnam and the Viet Cong, while the US supported the South Vietnam. Although they individually did not fight each other, the US and Russia were certainly involved in those respective regions, either sending troops or arms for their particular situation. Now, this situation is extremely similar, with Russia and most authoritarian regimes supporting Maduro and the US on the other side supporting Guaido. If this conflict turns into a proxy war, this could be an absolute disaster. So what are the takeaways? First, Venezuela has become fractured, with two different groups of people fighting for power. You have Maduro's group, which is supported by Russia and China, and you have Guaido, who is supported by the US. Secondly, the key player in this crisis will likely be the Venezuelan military. Although Maduro controls that right now, Guaido may have a chance by incentivizing many of the military members to defect, like the recent military executive. And finally, the conclusion of this crisis will likely determine Venezuela's fate for the following years. So what should you look out for? Well, look out for any military moves made by Maduro. That is, if he orders his soldiers to quarantine certain areas of Venezuela, or if he orders to capture the opposition leaders. But also look out for any moves made from Russia or the US in support for the respective parties. Already, some news suggests that Russia has already sent mercenaries to Venezuela to support Maduro. This could signal an escalation of the conflict, because now other players are entering the conflict. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please give it a like, subscribe for weekly content, and comment down below if you want to see me cover a specific topic.